You're live, sir.
Coming back again at 12 o'clock Sunday morning. The topic for today is virus or the vaccine. Controversies are full. They are described across different media channels. Can vaccine cause impotence? Why should I take dashed party's vaccine? Why are we not taking Pfizer vaccine? A lot of questions being asked across the country, some genuine, some motivated, and some out of stress. As we start this entire discussion, I would like to say that we both, Shashank and me, have taken the vaccine on the first day, and a lot of health workers have taken the vaccine after that, and you'll hear the story henceforth. Shashank, why not the Pfizer vaccine? It's one of the biggest multinationals in the country. Why did the Indian government not take the vaccine? What is the story behind the Pfizer vaccine? Number one, why not in India? Number two, are the mortalities which are happening in Germany, Norway, and the United States of America true? Is it more expensive? Are our vaccines better than the Pfizer vaccine? What is it?
So let us talk about the platform which Pfizer is using. Pfizer is using an mRNA platform, which is a new platform, and it is like a genetic manipulated platform. Having said that, it has a very high efficacy of 95%, but it has three major challenges. Number one, it can cause anaphylactic shock, either because of the mRNA vaccine or because of the particles in it, including nanoparticles. So anaphylactic shock is not known in the standard vaccines which we are taking, like a Sputnik Russian, which is adenovector platform based, or Covishield Oxford Astra, which is again adenovector platform based, or the Covaxin, which is very safe because it's killed, or the Chinese vaccine, which is also killed. So from the safety standpoint, Pfizer is not as safe as it appears to be. Secondly, Pfizer creates a mini COVID in your body. So you get some serious effects and side effects because of Pfizer. So Pfizer may be effective, but safety of Pfizer has been challenged. In those senior citizens in Norway, what happened is that they were very frail and old. And obviously, when a mild disease like a mild infection hit them, they died. So what makes anyone think that Pfizer is the best? No. Has United States done the best in COVID? No, they have done the worst. Has UK done better than India on COVID? No, they have done very badly. So I think we should not ape the ways blindly. Number two, their platform is a novel and new platform at -70. Do we have storage facilities for -70? By the time the vaccine will reach from Germany or Turkey to India, that protein will get denatured because -70, though it is impossible to maintain. The third thing is that it doesn't mean that we don't have vaccines. Actually, it's the other way around. I think people had a tendency of look west. Everything we want to look west. Okay, in COVID and vaccine, look east. Look at Japan, look at Singapore, look at Thailand, look at Taiwan, look at even China, and look at, of course, India. India has arrived. We are the world's vaccine making capital. We are the world's number one vaccinator. We are the world's largest vaccine producer. We are making vaccines across all diseases. Every second vaccine on planet Earth is of Indian origin. So I would like to state here that the two vaccines which are made in India, one is of course Covishield, is an adenovector platform-based vaccine, which at best can have side effects like pain at injection site here. I still have a little pain. I'm not as strong as Guru Anna. Okay, a little bit of fever which can come and go, and maybe a little bit of flu-like symptoms. That's all. Covaxin, on the other hand, also might have similar side effects. Zydus is making a DNA vaccine, which also might have similar side effects. And mRNA platform has not yet been made available. There's a Make in India Pune-based company called Genova trying to make an mRNA vaccine, but the -70 degree storage rules it out. Secondly, Pfizer applied to the Drug Control Center of India, but they developed cold feet. They didn't go and present any data to the DCGI, and they wanted approval without doing any trials in India. So, I think that's not fair. I think Indian vaccines are very good. We should be proud of our vaccines. They are safer. Their efficacy needs to be scrutinized. They may not be at 95%. They may be at 65%, 70, 75%. And their immunogenicity is very high. So I think in general, if you ask me, from a safety bullet, India is the vaccine capital of the world. Indian vaccination COVID program is the largest on planet Earth. We are going to vaccinate first 3 crores. Right now, across the whole world, only 2.5 crore people have been vaccinated. So I think that vaccine doubts, vaccine hesitancy, vaccine fears should be removed. I have taken vaccine. Dr. Shetty has taken vaccine. More than 8 10 days have passed, and we are good. So I think it's important to recognize that healthcare workers will take the vaccine first, followed by COVID frontline workers, followed by the people who vulnerable groups like people above 50, people below 50 with comorbidities, and ultimately a larger set of the population. Do not fear and do not think the West is the best. It's time to look east. It's time to look India. In the Vasudevam Kutumbam, India's time has come. I would say Prime Minister Modi should say, "अपना time आएगा, India का time आ गया है." I think it's time to be proud as Indians, and I think we need to go in a positive direction, get vaccinated, and rebuild a new age India. And when we are rebuilding a new age India in, post-COVID times, which is after COVID, which is like AC and AD and DC, we clearly have a challenge on board that we can do it. But we need to believe in our science, our scientists, our doctors, our vaccinators, and move forward. I don't think we should look at Pfizer at all. Neither has Pfizer come, nor do we have a minus 70-degree infrastructure to vaccinate, nor will we indemnify them. You see, I think, these companies will think that if some side effects happen, who will be responsible? I think they have to do their own study. If they want, it's open market policy. They are most welcome to get application and do the vaccine strategy. It's not good that they have not come, but I don't think it's hurt us at all. I think mRNA platform is worth exploring, but it's experimental platform. Comparatively, adenovector platform is much more time-tested platform. It's always better to play safe and go for a time-tested platform than an experimental platform. And Americans and British have experimented on Pfizer, but only time will tell what will be the degree of protection, the side effects, and so on and so forth.
Absolutely. And Sister Walsa asked a very important question in one of my seminars where we promote vaccination, we inspire people to take vaccine. And before you answer that question, before I ask that question, I would want you to see a picture and guess who's this doctor without his shirt taking the vaccine in the city of Mumbai today. That is 22nd of January 2021. Yes, this is none other than Dr. Sanjay Oak, who heads the Maharashtra Task Force, COVID Task Force, and he has had COVID infection. He is a COVID survivor and he has taken the vaccine on the 22nd of January 2021. As I say this, the question to Dr. Shashank and to me, both of us, is people were very scared of the virus and they all were waiting for the vaccine. And when the vaccine has arrived, there's a lot of inertia, a lot of trepidation, a lot of doubts, a lot of hesitancy. What do you think are the medical reasons for that?
So sometime back we did a show, virus in the mind and virus in the body. And the virus in the mind was far worse than the virus in the body. Same thing has happened now, the vaccine in the mind and the vaccine in the body. You and me have vaccine in our body, while most people have vaccine in their mind. And the vaccine in the mind is with question mark, doubt, side effect. Why should I be the first one? Let others take and let me be behind. So I think there is a degree of defiance and denialism. And this defiance and denialism which has gone is because of inappropriate information. Adult vaccination, unlike pediatrics, is not an order of the day. So doctors, healthcare workers are not used to get vaccinated. Remember, all flu shot taking countries have done badly. But all the people in America, Europe, they take an annual flu shot. So they are used to taking adults vaccines. We are not used to taking vaccines. Therefore, some degree of misunderstanding has crept in. We need to do the right information, right education, right counseling. But I think we need to embrace the vaccination program. I don't see any challenges with that. Dr. Shetty, My
What was
challenge is,
Shashank,
my,
what about such irresponsible statements made on the screen by influencers in the country from different walks of life? I will not take it because it's made by this party. I will not take it because it will cause importance. I will not take it because of X, Y, and Z. And saying this on public platforms when these guys are really followed by thousands of people of their caste, community, creed, or class.
I would say that that's very unfounded. I don't think any importance is caused by any vaccine. And I think it is preposterous to make such comments without any scientific evidence or a base. And I think such statements should be condemned by all classes across board. Do not devalue science. We are here on high science, but fast science in the current environment. So remember, there is a rush to develop the vaccines without compromising on the quality. There is a rush to develop vaccines without compromising on the way it is going to be administered. So I think two things are very clear cut, that it's time for us to look at a positive direction on vaccination and remove all this clutter, all this negativity, all these doubts which are there. If you have doubts, it's important. If you have allergy, can I get the vaccine? I think if you have a genuine allergy, you should be careful. You may skip the vaccine. Okay, but for this, every other disease on planet Earth, you can take a vaccine. You have heart disease, hypertension, diabetes, cholesterol, kidney stone. You should take the vaccine, period. Because you have to save your own life. And you should take the first dose, then take the second dose, and then maybe after 45 days or for total 45 days after two doses are over, which is 15 days after the second dose, probably you will have some degree of protection. And that protection could be life saving. So, Anna, my question to you is this whole fear complex, has got, see, I'll tell you, fear has erupted because of lack of trust and lack of transparency. And that lack of trust and transparency, the sowed seeds of suspicion were sowed because people thought that Covaxin is hiding some data. They were not. They were in the clinical trial process bound by confidentiality agreements. So they disclosed their data to a subject expert committee, and the Drug Control General should have told that they have done 21,500 cases, phase 3 trial is already ongoing, and they are almost about to complete it. We have given them an emergency use approval at a limited level. Had he been a little more transparent, Health Ministry, of course, came back to make the clarification. The first doubt came. Secondly, what has happened is it's a case of mistaken identity. See, the ICMR put out a statement before Independence Day, we'll have the vaccine. So a lot of people were already upset with that statement. So minute this thing came out, Covaxin, unfortunately, it got battered on the media, the social media. And that created a negative campaign. And that hurt vaccination program. I'm very happy that people like Dr. Vinod Paul took Covaxin. I took Covishield. We didn't have a choice. But if I had a choice to take Covaxin, I wouldn't hesitate it. So both the vaccines are good. And I think both the vaccines need to be embraced. And we'll have another three vaccines coming up. We have Zydus right round the corner. We have Sputnik right round the corner. And we'll have our own mRNA vaccine from Genova right round the corner. So we are going to get 4 or 5 more vaccines. We will have the Janssen vaccine with biological events right round the corner. So I think this so-called fear, Guru Anna, how to handle vaccine-related adverse event fear.
Absolutely. I would add one more dimension, which is a very important dimension. Why are people not scared of the virus and why are people scared of the vaccine? Well, let me use an analogy. After an earthquake, you rebuild houses. And let me take you to 1992-93. 1992, September 30 was the Latur earthquake where more than 8,000 people died. Latur is in Maharashtra, a state in India. Now, after a year, they had earthquake resistant houses. And in a few months' time after the earthquake, they lived in temporary shelters. And if there was any noise of a truck at night, they would run outside the shelters wailing as if believing the earthquake was coming. Their temporary shelters were safe, yet they did not trust the temporary shelters. Let's equate temporary shelters to vaccine. And similarly, they don't trust the vaccine. They still believe that the vaccine is as bad as the virus. They still believe that the noise of the truck was as bad as the earthquake and the earthquake is happening. Let me take you a little ahead. After a year, earthquake resistant houses were built. I worked there for 1 year between 92 and 93. And in spite of the earthquake resistant houses, in spite of all the education, people built tents outside the house and stayed in the homes for a very long time. They did not trust the earthquake resistant houses, just like they did not trust the vaccine. They do not trust. That is an analogy which is important, which says that post disaster sequelae, if the anxiety of the disaster is very high, if the trauma of the disaster is very fresh, you do not believe in measures that would save or protect the community. And that I think is very important. The second part of the story is also important. When the body is malnourished, viruses thrive. When the society is malnourished and in a traumatic state, rumors thrive. So in Latur at the earthquake, astrologers all were reborn and they started giving dates. The earthquake actually happened on September 30, 1992, Anant Chaturdashi day, the last day of the immersion of the Ganesh statue. And around August, September, the astrologers will say, October 31 ला earthquake होणार, November 18th ला earthquake होणार. Those days people would dread. People left their homes. Migrant laborers left. In Alandi shipyard, which is far away from Latur, people ran away to their homes. In the shipyard in Gujarat, the rumors in Latur traveled all the way to the shipyard in Gujarat and they ran away home. So rumors also add fuel to the entire situation because half truths are believed to be truths and fake news is believed to be truth. Fake rumors on WhatsApp is believed to be truth. And such irresponsible statements by responsible people, as Dr. Shashank mentioned, aggravates the fear and in the collective unconscious of a large number of people, they equate the virus and the vaccine. We, and they say that we don't want to die with the vaccine. My God, the vaccine is supposed to save you from virus. So this is the second most important thing which happens in a post-disaster phase. And how to break this? How to break this fear? Dr. Shashank just asked. Number one, information, information, information. Communication of the information, and communication of information effectively. Continuous education brings down anxiety and brings down rumors. And people like Dr. Sanjay Oak, Dr. Shashank Joshi, myself, and many others, Dr. Rahul Pandit, and many others who have taken the vaccines early, should talk from the top of their voice. I appeal to each one of you health workers. Post your pictures on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp, and YouTube. No, you are not seeking publicity for yourself. You are seeking publicity for the vaccine because the vaccine will save India, will save the country, will save the earth. So, this is what we need to do. So, actually, summarizing, it's not only motive, it's not about stupid healthcare workers, it's not about selfish healthcare workers, it's not about self centered healthcare workers, it's a disaster phenomenon which happens in every disaster. And when doctors come and tell me, I think the vaccines are very opaque, there's no data, that is rationalization and intellectualization of their own fears by people who are intelligent. So, my dear guys, we went and took the vaccine because we did not want the virus, we wanted the vaccine. As my friend Anirudh will show one picture of a bunch of people who have taken the vaccine today. And that picture is of 16 nurses and 2 technicians from Dr. L.H. Hiranandani Hospital who went and smilingly accepted the vaccine. People are taking the vaccine, my dear friends. Wait for your SMS and rush and put your left hand forward, take a jab, take a selfie, post it everywhere so that we encourage our Indian brothers and sisters, uncles and aunts, grandparents and grandmothers and grandfathers, and everybody around. And with this, Dr. Shashank, I'm going to ask you a question from Sampada Deshpande. My mother is 80 years old. Her angiography was done few years ago. Regularly takes tablets like aspirin. Otherwise, she's healthy, no other health issues. Is vaccine worth for her?
100%. It will save her life. Vaccination is absolutely indicated for her. So do not hesitate if she is taking aspirin. She can take the aspirin, she can take the vaccine, and vaccine is going to be useful for her. I just
Absolutely.
want to have one hashtag. Hashtag vaccine is the new selfie. Okay. So it's important that you do the vaccine right. And I think your mother must take it. More the age. In fact, if you look at UK, the first priority was given to people like your mother in the vaccination program. So the vaccination program is going to be useful for your mother.
Absolutely. And I would love to add again those who are trying to strike a controversy why the Prime Minister has not taken the vaccine. Why did the American president take the vaccine? Well, we are not here to follow Western rules all the time. We are going to create rules for ourselves. Now, for me, I would like to say my personal opinion on MD1 MD platform is I would want my healthcare workers to take the vaccine first and politicians last. And that's what our honorable prime minister has said, and he would practice that. So first the healthcare worker, next the comorbid elderly people, and next the lay people, and probably politicians somewhere in the middle, but never first. Dr. Shashank, what is the difference between the first and the second dose? Will it cover the mutated strain also?
So by and large, current data indicates that mutant strain will be covered. The mutant strain has a very small mutation. It's more of a minor variation in the amino acid sequence, so it will get covered for sure. And usually the dose interval between two doses is 28 days. And even if the dose gets a little delayed, it's okay. Some people feel that in UK they want to give it after 3 months because the country went into a lockdown, and they're going to give it after 3 months with the presumption that there might be a little better response in terms of efficacy. So always you take the two shots. It's only 14 days after the second shot that you will have some degree of protection. So remember, with a single shot, there is no protection. You still need COVID appropriate behavior. Even with the second shot, there is no protection. It will be 2 to 3 weeks after the second shot that protection will start.
Absolutely true. What about pregnant women about to get pregnant and lactating women?
So right now we avoid vaccines in them unless there are compelling reasons to do that. But by and large, women have done very well in COVID, including pregnant women.
Absolutely. So I would like to share my
Yeah,
friend. Sorry.
you can share your friend story, but I had a question for you, Dr. Shetty, that what has happened is that in medical community there's a herd mentality, and everybody else thinks that the other person should take it to motivate him. Second challenge is they feel there's a catch, that because it has been first offered to the medical community, they feel that we are not going to be becoming a guinea pig. That's not true at all. So, Dr. Shetty, how do we remove such irrational fears that doctors feel they are guinea pigs, they feel that they are being experimented upon? These are very irrational fears. And remember, as you said, that in times of crisis like COVID, people tend to lose rationality. So, how do you teach people again and rewire and reprogram them to think common sense and ensure that with common sense we behave appropriately and not recklessly? Dr. Shetty.
I think what is very important is that that first is all healthcare workers, nurses, doctors, और हाउसकीपिंग स्टाफ, फ्रंट ऑफिस स्टाफ, पहले अपने आप को पूछो डर का लेवल कितना है वायरस का. Higher the fear, worse the irrationality. Higher the stress, worse the irrationality. And if you still have fears, which you will have, the intensity will decide what will be the fears with the vaccine. Which means some fears are very repressed. They are not. People are not aware of the fears in their consciousness. They chew it, they repress it, and come out with something very different. So first is acknowledge. पहले मुझे बहुत डर लगता था मार्च में, अभी कम लगता है. मैं कॉशियस हूं, पर अब मैं काफी सिक्योर हूं. then I will accept the vaccine much better. But along with the fears of the virus, if you have also told yourself that I do not have seen the data of the first and the second vaccine, I only am influenced by my friends, medical professionals who are also talking skeptic narratives to convince themselves not take a vaccine, not because the vaccine is bad, but it's because the fear of the virus overwhelms and makes you scared of the vaccine. So first is be aware of your feelings and your fears of the virus. As you discuss the feelings and the fears with your loved ones, as you make yourself vulnerable and talk about it very openly, slowly the mind settles down and slowly the we, I becomes we, A. And the VA becomes clarify and check with your friends who have taken the vaccines, have open conversations and chats with everybody who have taken the vaccine. Look at the data. The dead virus of Covaxin will give you the least adverse effects. The adenovirus base of the Covishield will give you the least adverse effects like all other vaccines. And don't get paralyzed by the word Bharat Biotech. It's Bharat. They make the maximum vaccines in the world. Almost all of us have taken the vaccines as children. So remember, Bharat with the capital B is as good as POTUS with the capital U, or United Kingdom with the capital U. Tell yourself that we are not in 1928. We are in 2020, 73 years after independence. Tell yourself that we need to have the minds of Natarajan, of Siraj, of Pant, and of the great batsman who could go on his back foot, and that is the new India. And if that fearlessness is there out of faith, out of self belief, not out of self doubt, the new India is about self belief, not about self doubt, then you will take the vaccine. When you take the vaccine, remember you are liberated because we have moved one step ahead in the developmental growth of yourself, and that growth will not only impact and inspire everybody in the family in different ways, not only the vaccine, but when you become fearless to take the jab, you also become fearless to face other troubles in life. You also improve your resilience. So step one, assess the fears of the vaccine, be aware of the fears of the sorry be aware of the fears of the virus. Slowly the fears of the vaccine go down, and also share all the stories about friends who have taken the vaccine. Pictures make a lot of difference. Look at the pictures of our friends, look at the pictures of yourself, and I think there'll be a snowball effect across the country. People rush to take the vaccine rather when their the SMS arrive. So my dear friends, again, let me show the picture, if I can, of Dr. Anil Suchak. Cancer. He had cancer. He had liver transplant. You can see him sitting on the front row. He is Dr. Suchak from Suchak's Hospital, Malad. He had liver transplant. He's on immunosuppressants. He had cancer. And he took the vaccine on the 18th of January 2020. He took it not only for himself, but also for all the other health professionals to be inspired to take them. Let's lead the way. It's our time. It's not apna time aayega, as Dr. Shashank said. Apna time aa gaya hai. It's not like Cyrus Brocha who says, Mera number aayega, apna number aa gaya hai. India has arrived in more than one way. And Dr. Shashank, there's again a question. I have a friend who's a doctor who had an allergic reaction to one of the antibiotics 25 years ago. No other anaphylaxis at all. She's allergic to also groundnuts. And she says, I will not take these two vaccines. I reminded her that there's a doctor known as Shashank Joshi who's allergic to prawns, unfortunate because he cannot taste prawns in his life, who's also allergic, probably has allergic bronchitis and allergic asthma. Do you think she should take the vaccine?
So I took the vaccine. I knew my risks, but I was there in the center after for 1 hour with Dr. Harish Shetty in a place which was like an ICU. So very clearly and cleverly, I waited there for an hour. And I think that is the right thing to do, because I could have also got the reaction. So I can directly tell you from my experience. Now, if you have an allergy and if you're paranoid, you can do an IgE level and a CBC. But you should be prepared when you go to the vaccinating center, discuss it with your vaccinator, because you are a beneficiary, and take the vaccine. Informing them, telling them they have allergies, they'll make an evaluation.
Yeah.
If you have an allergy to an injection or some excipient of the injection, your likelihood of getting an allergy is higher. All of us get some allergy or the other in our lives. Does it mean we won't take the vaccine? Absolutely not. I don't think there is much fear. I think you should go ahead and take the vaccine, but don't be not vigilant. Don't be very casual about it. Don't go there and just not tell anybody. I think inform, educate, and be ready that if there is an adverse event, ensure that there is facility to take care of it. This is anticipated. This is not something which is not anticipated. But I still feel we should vaccinate you.
Absolutely, Dr. Shashank. I have the allergy to mullah. You know what's mullah? The vegetable mullah. How do you call it in English? I'm sorry, I don't know the name in English. Anirudh, can you help me?
Not sure either. I don't know
That
what
white
that is.
and the leaf.
We'll have
It's
to.
it's a leafy vegetable. I get urticaria on that. I get
White radish. That's a white radish.
White radish. Okay.
White radish.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. I also get allergy to nylon socks with a lot of eczemas and urticarias, but I took the vaccine. Anita
Interesting.
Patil is asking a question. The last few questions for today. My mother is 87 years old, was operated for CA colon in 2018, has hypertension, diabetes. Can she be given vaccine? Anita Patil is a medical social worker working at BRC.
So I think absolutely you can go ahead and give the vaccine. This is a clear case where it will benefit your mother. So with hypertension, diabetes, CA colon, these are all the more comorbidities. And in the vaccine is actually made for people like her mother. So don't even think twice about it. I hope
Thank you.
that
I think that's a very clear answer. One more question by Shirshal Kanure. If a person is having myasthenia gravis, onanzothiprine also, is it advisable to take a vaccine?
I think it's azathioprine and
I
myasthenia.
think
All
the
as a
Not a
spelling,
contraindication for taking a vaccine,
spelling
but
is
I would discuss with your immunologist and then decide on the vaccination. Because there are two issues here. One is you are on immunosuppressant drug like azathioprine, and second is you are having myasthenia gravis. So I think there should not be a major challenge, but you need to discuss with your vaccinator and then take the vaccine. I do not see major challenges with that. But the point is, because you are on an immunosuppressant like azathioprine with myasthenia gravis, the efficacy or the antibody immunogenicity of the vaccine may be weaker. So vaccine may not be as effective as you expect it to be effective. That is something which you should be careful of.
yes. And one interesting question from a nurse in one of my workshops for motivating healthcare staff for vaccine was, if I get fever and body ache, should I be given one compensatory off without a salary cut? That is a very interesting question. And would there be a compensation if there is any adverse effect for the vaccine? I saw a consent form of Covaxin, which addresses compensation also, Dr. Shashank.
So I think this is going to be a gray zone area in India. The law on this will evolve very soon about a compensation, because currently the government is giving the vaccine free of cost in an emergency use situation. So obviously the compensatory nature of the law in disaster times needs to be relooked at.
Right.
What was the first question, Dr. Shetty?
Would she? Is it ideal for healthcare worker to be given one day off if she has a fever and body ache after the vaccine?
I would say there should be an optional day off. If somebody genuinely gets knocked out for a day, they definitely deserve that day off. but it should not be optional and not a standard of care, Rahul.
Absolutely. Another question which has been asked several times is, what about children and the vaccine? Is it first essential? Has there been studies done? Will there be studies in the future? Will the new strains affect the kids? And I saw a TV debate where they were talking about the new strains affecting the kids. What is the status of vaccine and children?
So children have their own inbuilt vaccine through an organ called children's vaccine maker. Like a toy maker is the gland called thymus. And after 10 years, that thymus involutes. So vaccine may not be needed in people below 10 years. Currently, as of now, all the vaccines are approved above 16 or 18. So if somebody is below 16 or 18, they don't need the vaccine immediately right now. In the larger group of things, the vulnerable hierarchical preference, children and women come low on the pecking order, unless they have a comorbidity or above 50. So obviously for children, I don't think vaccination is the order of the day, but maybe in 2022, it is possible that children may get vaccinated. But this year, I don't see them getting vaccinated.
Absolutely, Dr. Shashank. Again, one more question from Milind Kulkarni, a structural engineer and a ex-World Bank consultant. He says he has a renal transplant, he has a kidney transplant done 20 years ago. He has stent in his arteries, coronary arteries. He has stent in his cerebral arteries. He has had very bad pneumonia. He has skin allergies. Also, he's on immunosuppressants for a very long time. He has stayed inside his home and not gone out at all for the last 9 months, except once he had to go and meet his contractors because contractors did not start the job unless he met him. He has psoriasis along with all this. So a classical case of multiple comorbidities. He has diabetes. He has insomnia. So his bunch of medicines we take is like a fistful of rice. He's a guy who has a very powerful mind. He's a miracle. He's a medical miracle. Should he take the vaccine?
If there is no allergic contraindication, he's absolutely fit to take the vaccine. In fact, he's going to be a bigger beneficiary from that vaccine than probably you and me. Because one little episode of COVID with so many comorbidities is as good as gone. So we would love to avoid COVID in him. And that's a simple philosophy. And therefore, absolutely close your eyes and take the vaccine unless you have allergen and a specific allergy to a specific substance.
At this point of time, me and Dr. Shashank Joshi are requesting every healthcare worker, whoever he is, a nurse, a doctor, a front office staff, or a housekeeping staff, or a security guard of the hospital, or anybody, जोर से बोलो वैक्सीन ले लो, जोर से बोलो वैक्सीन ले लो अपने मोहल्ले में, अपने building में, अपने दोस्तों में. These are two great nurses. One is the deputy director of nursing in a very major hospital, and other is a nurse manager in a great hospital. Smilingly took the vaccine today on 22nd of January 2021. It's a historical day for them. Remember, vaccine days will be as much remembered as your birthdays and your festivals. You are adding a new festival to the lexicon of our own festivals. Vaccine festival. I mean, we took a jab, and I think both of them smiling and inspiring all of us to take the vaccine. And friends, if you have selfies of your own vaccines, healthcare workers, please send it to 1MD Anirudh Sapatnekar and we'll display it every time we have a show at 12 Sunday morning. Dr. Shashank, some last questions.
Dr. Shetty, I want to ask you a question. You gave a beautiful analogy of earthquake. I think that is very touching. You told about trauma. You told about, see, there are two rebellious tendencies which have occurred in COVID times. One is most people think that they don't want to take a vaccine because they think in a fatalistic mindset, abhi to COVID chala gaya, abhi kyun vaccine le denge?
Right.
That's the commonest question which is talked to me. When I inquired with people, they said, abhi to vaccine, abhi. Even the healthcare worker, they said, abhi to COVID ward khali hai.
Correct.
अभी तो ज्यादा सीरियस पेशेंट भी नहीं है, अभी तो कोविड चला गया, अभी क्या वैक्सीन लेके फायदा. Now this type of attitude has got fixed in their minds. How to make that switch? That is the first thing. Number two, human beings love to cheat and rebel. How to draw that line? Because this is a mental game, much more mental game of vaccine acceptance and taking it than a physical game. I think the fears are so powerful that we get sucked into negative energy. So, how do you want to infuse that positivity and positive energy, Dr. Shetty?
There are certain overt narcissists who don't take a vaccine. आम्हाला काय होणार नाही. They may have survived the last 10 months. But if you show them poignant stories of people of their age living in the walls of their homes rather than on the ground, some of them crack. Number two is when we pierce the narcissism by confrontation, that vaccine is not all about you. Till now, it was all about you. Decision of marriage, decision of studies, buying a house, buying fruits, buying vegetables. It is all about you, but vaccine is not about you. Vaccine has humbled countries as big and as powerful with all the nuclear armaments. It has actually humbled countries who boast about destroying any city across the earth. They also get absolutely humbled. They may get humbled. Thirdly, small kids talking to their elders also help them understand. But there's second aspect of it which is very important. This was the first disaster where fatalism lost, where people who breathe religion were told by scientists to close down the temples, mosques, churches, and synagogues, and other places. So, this is the first time we are dealing with this disaster by science. And the third most important way of handling this narcissist or people who are reckless and who deny is that telling them you can live with your recklessness. We do not want to be associated with you. We will go and take the vaccine. And sometimes, very rarely, shaming them also helps them to change. It's not inspiration alone that changes people. It is deterrence, and shaming them so that we can protect others if they get infected is also very important. But remember, Dr. Shashank, this is not an all or none phenomenon. Some people will still be reckless, some people will still be very boastful, some people will still be narcissistic, but increasing the numbers who would accept the vaccine should be our goal. So confront, educate, inspire, touch, and beat them, not physically, but beat them in their dialogues, in their thought process, are some of the strategies. But what is very important is the social pressure exerted by neighbors, friends, relatives, boyfriends, girlfriends, wives, husbands, and also people of God. I am waiting for one of the Shankaracharyas to take the vaccine. I am waiting for Sri Ravi Shankar to show his arm. I'm waiting for Sadguru Jaggi Vasudev to show his arm that they have taken the vaccine. That will also be a big jump because we need everybody to take the vaccine to save not only a country but the world. You're on mute. So
Very
as
true, Dr. Shetty. You said very well. You very nicely put it that you're waiting for a larger population to take the vaccines. See, we are in Vasudeva Kutumbam, and we have to build a kavach around us from this slow beta corona RNA virus. And the only way we can have a kavach is by vaccinating ourselves and masking ourselves. So, mask, vaccinate, vaccinate, vaccinate is the dictum of the day. Mask shall stay, vaccine shall stay. And one last comment I want to make. A viral WhatsApp news broke out that if you should not be drinking alcohol if you take a vaccine. And this went across board. So what the source of this viral news was that in Russia, which also is taking Sputnik, which is adenovectoral based, they said moderate alcohol or avoid alcohol because vaccines immunity making capacity is blunted by alcohol. Now what happened is Chinese whispers are very famous, and this is a Chinese origin related virus. Suddenly we saw that people went berserk. Now the right answer is 1 day prior to the vaccination, avoid alcohol. A week or 15 days after vaccination, avoid alcohol because your immunity is at the lowest step. So if you avoid it, nothing like it. But if you can't, it's okay. It's nothing major which is going to happen. That's the only thing which I wanted to tell you. And secondly, remember that alcohol is empty calories and is very hurtful and harmful to life. It is a seat for all the cancers you can think of in the gut. And beyond just causing cancer, alcohol can maim and kill people also. So I think it's time to draw that line. But if you want to have a social drink, maybe once one peg in a week or 15 days, it's okay. There's no big deal about it. As long as you're clean, as long as you're hygienic, as long as you follow the COVID appropriate behavior, you're good to go.
And as we close the show, let me remind you guys, send your vaccine selfies, send your vaccine stories to 1MD Anirudh Sapatnikar. We are going to come back again Sunday at 12 o'clock to talk to you more, not only about vaccines, but also about life. With this, thank you, good day, have a nice day, and congratulations for taking the vaccine, and advance congratulations for all those who are going to take it in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Joshi. Thank you so much, Dr. Shetty.